Hi guys, welcome back to Robertson's Belly Acres. Today, kind of a slow day on the farm, but it's also a maintenance day. We've got this John Deere skid steer up here on the trailer I was using last week on the job. Blew a cylinder seal out, and so today we finally got the parts in and we're going to see what we can do to get it fixed up. And like I say, it's a John Deere 8875 skid steer. What happened, I know I do a lot more work with this thing than I should, picking up too much heavy stuff, but right up in here, the seal around that cylinder shaft is blown out. I've had to replace that before, but we're going to go ahead and pull this critter apart and just kind of get it put back together. Not kind of get it put back together. We're going to put it back together. Like I say, I had to go to John Deere. Went up here to Yellow House and ordered the parts. Unfortunately, as old as this machine is, the only place I could get parts for it is out of Illinois. So I had to pay a little extra to get it shipped in to me. But we're going to go ahead and sort through this menagerie of tools that I call a tool bag. See if we can locate everything we need to get that done. So here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt to hook this ratchet strap around my cylinder tube and up on that grab handle, see if we can't lift that sucker up out of the way and hold it for us. Make it a little bit easier to control, not have to worry about it so much. I'm going to go right around this hydraulic fitting, like so. Yeah, there we go. Kick that tail up here out of the way. Now comes the fun part. You always want to make sure you're doing this kind of stuff where it doesn't matter if you get the ground all oily or it's going to be right here on the trailer. I've got a bunch of dirt and stuff on the trailer, so it's going to soak up a lot of it, but I really don't care if the tray gets dirty. Keep in mind, I am no mechanic, but I'm not afraid to try to fix something myself. Instead of giving John Deere, I contacted them and they wanted, for the seal kit, I just paid, including taxes and freight, was $235. To have them do this work for me, they were going to charge me about an additional $500. I can save $500 by doing it myself, so it's a no-brainer to me. It's time to put on my big boy pants and get a little dirty. Overkill. Okay, a lot of overkill. It's the only pipe I got that'll go around that handle, so here we go. just like that. A little bit of persuade. And there's that seal. That's what we're talking about. Get that pressure off there. Two reasons I do it this way. The first time I did it, we left the bucket on the ground. Well, that gets all my hydraulics real low, and I lost almost all my hydraulic fluid. My theory behind it this time is I've got it up, and my hoses are all going up, and everything's draining back down to it. I'm hoping I can keep some of that fluid up inside the system and not have to worry about replacing 5 gallons of fluid this time. And like that. Oops. Like I said, we're going to lose a lot of fluid here, so stand by. This whole cylinder tube is full of oil because of the way I've got the bucket tipped, so now I'm just trying to drain it as slow as I can so I don't have to work in quite as much of this oily mess. Done changing this, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it down by the garage, get the old power washer down there. I need to wash my truck and need to wash this machine off anyway. It's been a few days, so we'll get it all cleaned up. Get ready for the next job. A little money saving tip for you guys. You see, I've got a bunch of these rags that are at the ready. You get an old t-shirt or whatnot that you're going to get rid of, especially old bath towels that start getting thin. I cut them into random sizes and shapes, throw them in a trash bag and put them in a truck. That way I got rags. I don't have to pay for them. If they're not super bad, I'll go ahead and take them in the house and wash them and reuse them. But if they get real nasty, take them right over to the burn bin and take care of it. Okay, so here we go. Let's try this again. All right, there it is. It's not a real long fix, pretty simple, just a little dirty. So you can see here, this is that cylinder shaft we just took out. That's the part where I unscrewed it from that barrel tube. These are the seals we're going to be replacing today. I'm going to do some checking here and see which one's bad. Run a rag and a light up inside that tube and see if we can figure out what happened. Like I say, guys, I think I just picking up stuff that was too daggone heavy for the machine. But we'll be back. Okay, so I've got all my seals pulled out of here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but you got seals and O-rings all in there. Now we got to pull this bolt out of the end so we can get this piston apart. So I'm gonna get in here and replace the O-rings that are inside this cap. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna climb up here and I'm gonna put this back on the machine, put the pin in there, that way it's holding it like a vise. That way I don't have to worry about going and doing something else or finding somebody to help me. I'm gonna slide it right back in there. That pin in it. And that bolt shouldn't be terrible tight. So here we go. There we go. Just like that. There's no ring seals or anything on the inside of this. It's just a smooth bore with a washer on that bolt. So we're going to set it right up here out the way. We'll go ahead and pull this, I call it a nut. Pull that sucker off there. Yep, and right there's the culprit, guys. That one little O-ring in there is bad. Okay, we're going to see how well this works. See, it's just that nut that goes on the end of that cylinder. Get turned around here. I don't know if you can really see right in there. That piece of rubber that's sticking up. Yep, that's the critter right there that's bad. So we're going to reach in there with our handy dandy little pick. We're going to pull that sucker out of there and we're going to put the new one in. Okay, so as you can see, I started back together. Just reversing the process, guys. I've got the barrel cap put on here. I've got that set in place. I'm just going to tighten this bolt down. I don't like getting things super tight, but tight enough. We're going to put a little bit of pressure on this sucker. That's good. Now we'll go ahead and pull our pin. Take this critter back down here so we can get to it from the ground. When I take them off, I lay them down in a stack in the order they come off. That way I can go to my new stuff and I can start putting it back in the same order. That way I know for sure it's all going back in the same way it came off. And I forgot to show it, but I did get a light. And I looked up inside my tube here. I don't see any cracks or scratches or gouges in there. So we're just going to go ahead and put this sucker back together. And as you see, that cylinder is pushing back out. That's just from my air pressure. I've got some good seals in there right now, and that's a good sign, guys. If air can't get through, hydraulic fluid can't get through. Oh, and there it went. Give her a pull and tight. So, as everybody can see, obviously, I am someplace other than on that trailer working. Got that seal put in, worked like a charm. Been down here helping Rachel working in the garden, trying to get it ready to plant. As you can see right up in there, we got that all leveled out, smoothed up. I brought a bunch of mulch and compost up here from our compost pile. Can't hardly see it here in the dark, but watch the videos about the garden and and you'll be able to see what we're talking about. So when you're doing these hydraulic projects, you always want to make sure that you're putting them back together the way they come apart. What I have learned over the last couple years is hydraulics can be really intimidating, but they're actually pretty simple once you start digging into them. But so from our house to yours, have a blessed evening, and don't forget, if you like what you saw, share it with your friends. Hit that thumbs up, make a comment. We love comments. We comment back to everybody we can. And if you haven't already, subscribe. See you next time.